This is a 4-pack of solar deck lights. They're kind of an L shape. They're designed to be mounted at the top of a wall or a handrail or a step on a deck. So I was sent these to review for free. If you wanted to purchase them, the package would cost you about $16. It's about $4 per light. So in the box we have these 4 lights, and they also come with insulation material. So we have 4 sticky strips and enough screws here, it looks like, to put 2 screws for each of these guys if you want to screw them in. So they come with this little plastic bracket here, and so you kind of push that into that groove, and now it will sit over a fence and it'll just kind of hang on the top of a fence. They also include these sticky, double-sided sticky things, so you can put that sticky tape in here and stick it down, although there's these little tabs that stick up, and they don't say to put this guy down like that to make the sticky tape fit better, but it seems like it would make the level better. Unfortunately, these guys would kind of also just kind of pop off there, so I'm not sure how well that sticky tape is going to work without this, but with this guy in here, it also looks like it would just pop off really easily. So I think probably screws is going to be your most secure way to mount this guy. Alright, so when you first get them, you're supposed to open this plastic protective cover, and it just pulls off. It's just friction fit. And there's a switch here, and they basically can be white or colorful, and in the center it's off. So when you have it on white, it's white mode. When you have it on color, I believe it's supposed to kind of do an RGB cycle. So there you can see it went from red to kind of greenish. I believe it's going to cycle through. There's kind of a blue color. So it just slowly cycles through different colors. So you can choose if you want it to be colorful or if you want just kind of a white light. And when that shines down through here, it's kind of diffused into a little pattern, and it's visible from the side, but mostly is shining down. Alright, these plastic things just kind of friction fit snap on. They weren't too hard to pull off, but they're also super lightweight, so I don't anticipate them falling off over time unless somebody were to grab them. I don't think, birds won't be landing on them, and I don't think squirrels will be trying to, crawl up them. So I think they're pretty good to stay on there. But these little plastic things here don't really stay in place. They're just held in by those little pegs. Now there is a battery visible underneath this circuit board, but to get into it you'd have to have some Phillips screwdrivers to unscrew those guys. Alright, so taking that out, it looks like there is a cell in here in a plastic holder, and the cell is not soldered in, so it's, you can replace it just by popping it out and popping it back in. There's a little spring that holds it in. And this guy here says is a 600 milliamp hour cell. It's IMR 1450. So this is a lithium ion battery, and it's kind of the AA sized 14500 battery. And so I'm going to put this on our battery tester and check and make sure it actually does meet that 600 milliamp hour specification. Okay, so each of these cells has surpassed their specification. The lowest is 622 and the highest one is 700 over here, but they're all above 600 milliamp hours. So this guy projects a pattern on the ground, kind of a modeled pattern like that, so it does a pretty good amount of light downward. So this is the color setting, and as you can see it kind of slowly goes between a reddish purple through the white, back into a very red, yellowish blue and green. I feel like the white color puts a little more light on the ground than the color cycle. So with the white, it's much brighter than with the color cycling. That was the white And this is the color cycle in here. Alright, so these screws stick out not quite a ½ inch, but more than a ¼ inch out of the bottom of these guys. I'm going to be mounting it on the edge of my dock here, and the holes hold the screws in pretty well, so I can put a drill on top and just push down and screw them in. Alright, it's not going anywhere. Alright, just a minute to install each of these guys in the corners of the dock there. Alright, so I installed these on my dock, one at that corner and one down there at that corner. And the idea is, at night, somebody will be able to see that there's a dock sitting out here. Alright, there are those two lights on this side of the dock. Alright, there are those two lights on the side of the dock. Make it nice and easy to see, reflecting off the water, because a lot of that light's going into the water. But that's okay. Alright, these guys went overnight, so that's a good 12 hours of lighting. Alright, it's 6:17 a.m. and that light is still on. So, that's 2 days in a row that's gone all the way through the night.